Hey everyone, it's Design Chickie here, and I've got my little design assistant who's all dressed up today for the event, which is decorating a Christmas tree. So a few weeks ago, I asked you if you were more interested in watching me decorate a Christmas tree or a Christmas urn, and it was an overwhelming response. Ta-da! Christmas tree. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's get started. Right? Okay, step number one is obviously to assemble your tree. I have a fake tree and it takes virtually no time to set it up. If you have a real tree, I think it's a little bit more involved. You have to go find it first, you have to cut it, put it in the stand, and either way, get your tree up, assembled, and we're ready to go. Step number two is your lights. You would need to install all your lights. My tree actually comes with lights, so the best thing to do is to make sure that those lights are working and that they're on before you start decorating. Step number three is you need to fluff your tree. It's hard to do with a real tree. In fact, I don't think you can fluff your tree if it's a natural tree. But with an artificial tree, it's an absolute must. So I recommend, highly recommend in fact, to use some gloves because it's all kind of prickly and messy and dusty. And so just use gloves. You'll thank me for it. Time to fluff the tree. Okay, so I finished fluffing the tree, and what I'll do is I'll do a little side-by-side of the tree before and after the fluff, and that'll show you that those 20 minutes that it takes to fluff the tree is really valuable. So just do it, take your time, use your gloves, go through, because each branch has little branches and they can all kind of be spread apart and moved around in lots of different directions to really fill up that tree so that you kind of disguise the fact that it's a fake tree. Step number four is putting up your tree topper. It's the very first thing at the top of the tree that goes up. It needs to be secured in place. You have to kind of be careful because some tree toppers are really heavy and they fall over. So make sure that you have the right tree topper. Me personally, I love an angel at the top of the tree, but it's really hard to find a really good angel, like a really pretty, beautiful angel. I'm still on the hunt. So instead, I'll be using a star. Okay, so our tree topper is up. Took a little bit of magic to get it to stay in place, but once it's secure, you can move on to step 5, which is garland. Garland is really important because it creates a little bit of movement in the tree. It's usually a very different texture than your ornaments, so it's really important to add some garland. But I don't like it when the garland spirals around the tree. It makes it look like the tree is spinning. So I like to use ribbon for my garland, and I like to use a sort of tucking method. So we'll show you a couple of pieces, and I have some different sizes here and some different colors. And I usually like to double them up and then sort of tuck them into place, but they still go in this general spiral direction. They're just not connected all the way around. So for my garland, I'm using 2 different sizes of ribbon, and this one's kind of like a meshy red sparkly one. There's sparkles everywhere at this point. And also I picked this sort of really pretty red and white and black plaid. I like that they're different sizes so that you could see the other one behind it. And what I usually do is I just cut like a 2-foot piece for the sort of first few pieces at the top. You can see here that I've tucked the top of the ribbon at the very top and then just kind of let it travel down towards this side of the tree. This one's coming from around the back. It's sort of tucked in behind. There's actually a little light so that that little light is sitting in front of the ribbon, which is really pretty. And then it just sort of gently falls into the front of the tree. And what I always do is I clip the ends so that there's a little bit of a V so it looks a little bit more finished. And you can literally just leave it like that because once you start filling in with your ornaments, you can kind of like move things around a little bit. But I love that sort of casual approach to having the ribbon sort of end. This ribbon actually has wire in it, so that's really helpful because you can kind of mold it into place. So I usually just kind of place it first and then step back to see if I'm happy with it. And then if I'm happy with the actual angle of the ribbon, then I go in and I kind of tuck and secure it in place. Yeah, so this area right here will be covered up with an ornament. So don't worry about it right now. Just remember to fill it in afterwards. Okay, everybody, so we've got all of the ribbon in place. I don't think we need any more, but you see that it's sort of a little bit broken up. It's not continuous all the way around. In some places, we've tucked it under a branch and ended it just sort of on its own. And then other places we've wrapped it around just so that we can sort of manipulate it in a way. But it's nice to sort of have the ribbon going in and out of the tree. Step 6, ornaments. So I like to limit the colors to a Christmas tree. So in this case, I'm doing gold, red, and green, which is fairly traditional. But I don't know, I like a traditional Christmas tree. There are so many different options out there. You can really do crazy colors like pink and blue and purple. And it's all great as long as you keep to maybe 2 or 3 colors. Okay, so now we're gonna put in the pretty balls. And also, one great tip is that you should put them in at various depths of the tree. So you don't want everything sort of hanging out on the outside of the tree. Make sure to buy shatterproof ornaments. Okay, so we've been putting in the Christmas balls. I am covered in sparkles, but we're just trying to put them in so that they're evenly distributed. So you've got some gold, some red, and some green throughout. Okay, so one of my pet peeves is when the ornament doesn't fall naturally. This one here you can see is kind of being pushed off by a branch. I know it's really picky of me, but it drives me nuts. So it has to be moved. The great thing about having a fake tree is that you can really manipulate these branches so that they're not getting in the way of the ornaments. There, and now it falls naturally. So step 7 is fillers, what I'm calling fillers. These are just some picks that you can buy at a craft store. And I tried to find some greens that are a little different than the tree that you have. Sagey green, and there's some flocked pieces as well. So these are really meant to fill in some holes and to give your tree a little bit more texture. Step number 8 is special ornaments. You know, the ones that are really sentimental to you. Either they were gifts or they were handed down to you, like this one. This one was my dad's. I want to make sure that they have a very special spot on the tree. So they should be last. Okay, another important aspect of putting up a Christmas tree is having a cover for your base. And what I've done is actually inserted some tissue paper and some plastic bags underneath to kind of prop it up a little bit, just so that it doesn't lay so flat. So there you have it. There's our finished Christmas tree. It looks beautiful. It's got lots of lights in it. It's got lots of red and green and gold, which I love. I love the ribbon as garland, and I love these little filler pieces to add extra texture. So make sure you think about adding extra texture as well to your tree. This is the first time I'm doing a Christmas decor video for you and a Christmas tree on camera. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below if your Christmas tree is red, gold, and green as well. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and make sure you hit that notification button so you don't miss the next video. We have videos every week. Thanks for watching, everybody, and happy, happy, happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody. Are you falling asleep? Fall asleep. Hello? 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 Hey everyone, it's Design Chickie and my little Santa's helper. So a few weeks ago, I asked you which one you would prefer, a Christmas tree decoration video or an urn. He's like yawning.